Alright, this is Brock Lively with First Baptist Church of Olton, and this is the first in a series of tutorials for how to use ProPresenter. As you can see here, I have the Sanctuary computer screen pulled up, and now I'm going to open ProPresenter. Just simple double click. One thing about ProPresenter is it takes a while to load. There's a lot of things that have to get running to go with it. One thing that is very important is to remember to not click on anything else while it's loading. I found that this causes less problems with it crashing in the middle of a service, that kind of thing. So once you double click on it, don't touch anything, don't press any buttons, just sit patiently until it is completely loaded, and you will know it's completely loaded when all of these screens are full and a message comes up about updates. While that's loading, we can talk about a few of the things. Here's a little preview. This right here is your view screen. This shows what is being shown on the projector screens. This is the library. This lists every song service part that we have in our library. Here, when it's loaded, will be our playlists. Once these playlists are loaded, we can click on it and it will list all of the service parts that are in it. Over here is the audio bin. There will be files and folders over here that will list things, and we will do another tutorial on adding accompaniment pads and the like to the audio bin. A few things up here. This is the clear all button. Once you click on this, this clears all the things in the projector that's being sent out, so it will go to a black screen. Clear slide will clear what is on the slide if it's lyrics or text. Clear backgrounds will clear the backgrounds. This will put a church logo up. That's an old logo that we haven't used in forever. It's just, I honestly have never used the logo. Here it's loading now. This is the you're up to date. An error occurred retrieving update information. Try again later. I wouldn't worry about that error. It's not a big deal. So we'll clear that out. Everything's loaded. As I said, here's the playlists, and in each playlist are the parts of the service, the audio bin, and stuff. We'll deal with all that in another tutorial. Right now we're going to be adding a planning center playlist into the service and adding a few of the slides that don't come up when the planning center playlist automatically loads. This is the easiest way to set up a service, so we're going to do it in today's tutorial. First, if you click on New NCO Playlist down here, this little gear, all you got to do is click this little drop-down arrow, New NCO Playlist. This will come up with the playlists that music minister or the youth minister have created in Planning Center. For example, Sunday morning worships. As you can see, today is the 29th. This is late in the afternoon when I'm starting these. So we'll go ahead and we'll drop in the August 5th service. We'll highlight it by clicking on it, click the plus, and in just a moment it will come up. There's added to the playlist is that playlist. And as you can see here are all of the songs and parts of the service that we're going to be doing. Nothing But the Blood. Most of these are pretty standard songs that we do all the time, so they're in here. Now what we'll be doing, things like announcements, children's sermon, the offering, and the actual sermon itself, we have to import. And it's very simple. Over here in the search bar, under the library, if you just type in announcements, as you can see, this brings up our normal announcements. So click back over here, bring up that playlist, get it in the center of the screen. Here where the announcements would be, there is a thing that says link. If you click on that, it opens it up to drag document or media here. So we'll drag the announcements and it will link it. And then here are our announcements. We'll edit these later since volleyball is tonight, not August the 5th, and we'll be adding in some other slides. I believe the prayer walk's coming up, normal stuff that we do. In later videos, we'll talk about changing the backgrounds and adding pads, so we're not going to deal with that today. Here's the children's sermon, and again, it's very simple. All you got to do is type in the children's sermon. It'll come up here, click on the link, and we'll just drag that children's sermon and drop it into place. And there's your children's sermon slides. Also, another thing that we have to add will be the offerings and special music. I have those slides here. Offerings. That'll bring up our list of offerings. And this is a common thing. I do this all the time. Click on the wrong thing. Click on offerings. We've got this opened up here. And instead of just clicking on it, you just hold and drag. And it's going to be fussy and does this. Once you get this little Ghostbuster thing, I call it, it'll tell you that you're moving it. Drop it in. The sermon hasn't been done yet, and we'll do that this week in another video. In the next video that I will make, we will discuss changing backgrounds, importing new backgrounds, and adding pads. So that is how you put in a Planning Center playlist. Again, it's the easiest part of it that we can do. The prelude is usually a note from the music minister telling me what music he wants to play before the service. So he puts that line in there. There's nothing to link to that, so we leave that blank. And then here's the worship, nothing but the blood. We haven't added a background to that. We'll do that in our next video of adding backgrounds and pads. But that is a very easy way to add a playlist through the NCO or the Planning Center. Very simple, easy to do, and the next video will be more in depth.